you all. How you doing out there? Welcome to episode 3. I've been working on building my van, but not this week. 108, 109. Right now it's 107. So I'm going to show you some other stuff this week, how to get into van life, how I got into it, some behind the scenes of the documentary, and a special place I visited this week. So let's get started. Like I said, there's no way I was going to go out there and work on that van this week. With the temps the way they are, no, I think the best thing to do is just get a chair and sit in the cold water and chill out. So, but I did take and turn the key this week and went up to Lake Havasu. It's just above Parker there, about 18 miles, and I was able to go to the London Bridge. Have you heard about it? The London Bridge was replaced stone by stone from across the Atlantic by Robert McCullough to build as a centerpiece in Lake Havasu. So today, a lot of the restaurants and boats and events are centered around that one special part of town. We went to see my friend Joe Evans, who was turning the big 7-0, and he wanted a burger down by the bridge, and he's a former boogie boarder, bodyboarder that I traveled with many, many years ago. He suggested burgers by the bridge. So there we went. Beautiful place with a nice view of the London Bridge. And of course, the best hamburger, amazing. And Rick said the fish and chips was one of the best he'd ever had. Try it. Burgers by the bridge, Lake Havasu. All right, so I turned the key on and went there. But I really wanted to tell you a story about why I do RV life and van life. And on now, and it's about 110 outside, 88 inside, so it's really warm. But I want to tell you about how I got started in RVing and van lifing. It's been many, many years. I've had a Class A, a Class C, cargo vans, 2 cargo vans, a Nissan 1500 and a Nissan 200. And for those of you that are looking around for vans, they're Nissan's cargo van. I've had 2 minivans, a Dodge Caravan and a Town & Country, and 3 high tops. Golden Girl 2, which just recently got totaled in the last episode, you saw that, and now Golden 1. So I'm on my 7th unit, rig, you might say. So I've been into it for a while, and I want to really share or help people if I can on some of these episodes, because a lot of people are just starting to get into it. And then on the other hand, a lot of people want to know what is a person like me, how and what it is. But when you watch the documentary, you'll see some of the reasons why I like it so much. But I'm a free spirit. I like freedom. I like to turn the key and go. That's part of our episodes. I really like one thing that I don't want to overlook, and I'll throw a couple little pictures in here right now, is I really like to decorate. I've always wanted to be an interior decorator, so here's my chance to decorate a little cargo van. I'm frugal, I'm a minimalist, I like everything simple, so that helps in my budget of building these things. But the main thing is it just gives me that freedom. I can travel, have adventure, and I just absolutely don't think I'll ever live without a RV or a van. And we talk about freedom. One thing I really like is when I wake up and I open up the drapes, and sometimes I don't even know where I am. Well, I do know where I'm at, but I just am so in awe that I've got such beautiful views. In this case, waking up to the ocean, where people spend millions of dollars, with ocean views. So I've been able to work. In 2013, I went all over the United States working, teaching business and internet coaching, and it really was kind of fun living out of my van and meeting new people and working as like a digital nomad way back then. And because I really like karaoke, I think some of the best parts is meeting new people. Now, people have interviewed me on various different times in my life when I was living the freedom lifestyle, I should call it. Blue Wonder Lady here did a great interview if you're thinking about buying or, trying to decide what rig to be in. This interview, I go through all the different rigs that I've had and what's good about them and what's bad about them. So I encourage you to to watch that one by Blue Wonder Lady. Elaine Lombardi, who is Travel Grandma on YouTube, did a great interview on my first Golden Girl high top van and some of the advantages of buying a high top van where you can stand up and live. And at this time, I was living in this one particular one and traveling around. I was in Colorado at the time she did this interview, but that will tell you and why, she asked a lot of great questions on why I like this lifestyle. And then the last one was the Bob Wells interview that was just came out this last December that kind of catapulted my channel because so many people watch and listen to Bob Wells. And he talks about my design, how I like to interior decorate on a dime. The one like I'm doing now, the no build, no budget. I like spending the least amount of money to get the most bang on the interior. And that interview is out now on the Bob Wells Cheap RV Living YouTube channel. So I encourage you to watch all three of those and see, if there's anything in there that might help you understand why we do this, why we like this. Now, many of you know it's gotten really popular nowadays, so this is another reason. Like, why are people, young people, not just retired people, like me, over the years it's always been retired people have looked for rigs, but now younger people are doing it. They're working like digital nomads while they're on the road. So I encourage you to listen to those three interviews. This week on Behind the Scenes, I had to go in and review some photos that'll be used. So it was an interesting week. I was asked, do you want to look at pictures and then tell the story behind those pictures? Or do you want to just tell the story and then we'll filter in pictures based on the story? And I opted for the first part. Let me look at the pictures and then it'll invoke something. I would say probably the story starts right there. It's about my brother Bob and me and our relationship as a child. And many of you know that, everything in the 50s was very typical, a lot of typical stuff. But what was going on behind the scenes had a little bit more meaning to it. And Bob and I have talked about it over the years. And, we scratch our heads like, how could that be? But, the big thing is surviving it and getting out of it what you were supposed to get out of and then move on and hopefully create something in your life. So this is what we're working on this week, or I'm working on, and getting all these pictures loaded up and then telling the story. So get ready, in about a month you're going to get to hear it. Well, you'll find out a little bit more about me and dancing when this Docuseries comes out. But thank you for enduring my windblown look this week. Uh, I hopefully you'll get outside this week and get you some more of that van build and more of that beautiful area that I'm in right now. Thanks again for subscribing. We are moving the notch a little bit closer to that 2,000 mark. So all you have to do is like this video, share it, comment, put the notification bell on, and subscribe. And I'll see you next week. And thanks again for all your support.